Hi, good morning. Welcome to another 5 Minutes of Recovery. I'm Alan. I'm an alcoholic and a drug addict. I've been in recovery since September 15th of 2016, and I'm not here as a professional speaker. I don't represent any specific 12-step fellowship. I'm just sharing my experience, strength, and hope in the hopes that maybe somebody that's suffering with addiction sees one of my videos and seeks help. Just know that there is help and there is hope. If a guy like me could get and stay sober on a daily basis, there's no reason why anybody that watches these videos can't do the same. So with all of that being said, let's jump right into it. Today, I think what I want to talk about is connection and a higher power. So in order to get and stay sober on a daily basis, it teaches us in the book that we need to connect to a power that is greater than ourselves, that is going to remove the problem. And so looking back at my life, I see that that's really what I was looking for in my addiction. I was looking to connect first with people, with the world, because obviously I always felt like there was something wrong with me, right? Like I was missing something. Like, why do these people get it and I just ain't getting it? And then I found alcohol and drugs, and I found my source, right? I found the power that was greater than me, that was connecting me to people and to the world around me. And that worked for a little while until it didn't. And then once it didn't, I was at an impasse. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I got to the point where the things I was doing were making me feel bad about myself. And the worse that I felt about myself, the more drugs and alcohol I used to try to connect to that power, right? Which I choose to call God today, but it could be whatever you want it to be. And the more drugs and alcohol I used, the less connection I found. And over time, I got to a point in my life where I was completely hopeless. And I wanted to do something different. And that's when I was introduced through being incarcerated to some 12-step fellowships. And I started attending. And I got to tell you, like, when they started talking about God, I was completely turned off and didn't want anything to do with it. Then, over time, I became willing because I kept going out. I would go out and then I would get locked up, and then I would go to jail, and then I would get out of jail, and then I would go back to the 12-step fellowship and I would try again until it got to the point where I was just willing to do whatever they asked me to do and maybe give this higher power greater than myself a chance, right? And so, like, that's what I did. And the way that I did that is by going through the step process. And I got a sponsor to guide me, somebody that I learned to trust. And he guided me through the process, sharing his experiences with how he worked the steps in his life. And as a result of that, somewhere along the line, I started to build the connection with a power greater than myself. And that connection continues to grow on a daily basis. And I got to tell you, it's something that either I'm moving forward or I'm moving backward. So either I'm trying to connect to that power and be of service to other people and stay sober on a daily basis, or I'm going in the other direction and I'm trying to connect to outside things. And outside things usually aren't the things that keep me sober for any amount of time, right? So so maybe I don't want to connect to God, so I think that I'm going to connect to this cheeseburger, or I'm going to watch some porn, and that's going to make me feel better. And so what I'm really trying to do is I'm trying to fix my insides with outside stuff. And what I found is the more that I practice prayer and meditation, the law of attraction in my life, knowing that the things that I think about come true in my life, so the more that I try to connect to that and connect to the God of my understanding, the better my life gets and the more blessings come into my life. And so, like, it's not always easy. Like, there's been times in my recovery over the past 8 years where I've struggled, I've had to seek outside help. But at the end of the day, I made a decision when I surrendered that I would be willing to do whatever's necessary to get and stay sober on a daily basis. And I got to tell you that my life is 1,000 times better than it ever could have been when I was in my addiction. And that's even when things are going bad, right? So I just really want to express the fact that it's really important that we connect to a source of our own understanding. And that's the most important thing, is that we get to choose what that source is. Like for some people it might be nature, for other people it might be the church, for other people it might be Buddhism, whatever it is, right? You could even start with like the 12-step meetings themselves, because there's a bunch of people in that meeting that's a power that's greater than ourselves, because I can't stay sober by myself, but together we can. And so as I continue to work the steps in my life and try to be a better person on a daily basis, I continue to work on that connection. And as long as I continue to work on that connection, my life continues to get better, even when things aren't going so great. And I gotta tell you, like the emptiness that I used to feel, that I try to fill up with my addiction with drugs and alcohol and women and all that other stuff that I did all of those years, trying to just feel whole. Like I've come to find that the more that I'm able to connect to that source and try to be of service to other people, the more that hole is filled. And today, like I have a life that's behind my wildest dreams. And so like I hope that I said something that helped somebody. And also, if you like my content, please like, subscribe, let's share it, let's get it out. There's a lot of people out there that are struggling with addiction that could really use help, and I want to be of service to other people and help. That's the only reason for these videos. So I hope that you got something from today, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks, and have a great day.